Antarctica has been a continent shrouded in mystery for many years. As it stands, we still don't know too much about this icy landmass, and its past is as equally confusing as its present. Over the years, we've heard many rumors and theories about what could have happened on the continent many years ago. We've heard everything from stories of a lost civilization to theories of a secret Nazi bunker from World War II. Today, we'll be taking a look at some of these wild theories and learning if there's any truth behind them. Let us know about one of the craziest conspiracy theories you've ever heard in the comments. Who knows, maybe one of those theories will make it into a future video. In 1947, Admiral Richard E. Byrd led an expedition of military troops from the US, Britain, and Australia to Antarctica titled the United States Navy Antarctic Development Program. The official story is that this was a straightforward mission to establish a research base on the remote continent. But is this the true story? Many UFO researchers aren't convinced. This expedition, or perhaps invasion, has come to be known by another name, Operation High Jump. Shortly after World War II, rumors began swirling that Hitler survived the war and had fled to Antarctica with a number of supporters. It's widely known that Hitler was deeply interested in the occult, and some even claim that his interest led him to making some otherworldly connections. It has been posited that the Nazis found an entrance into the inner Earth in Antarctica, and that they made some kind of alliance with a race of technologically advanced inner Earth beings. Operation High Jump comprised of 4,700 military personnel, 6 helicopters, 6 Martin PBM flying boats, 2 seaplanes, 15 assorted aircraft, 13 Navy supply ships, and 1 aircraft carrier. It seems like a lot of resources to simply establish a research base. After all of this preparation, the mission was surprisingly cut short. The official explanation was that the troops had to leave because winter was coming, but others claim the truth is that the German secret space program's technology was far too advanced and the US forces were defeated. As more and more information becomes unclassified, it's possible we may someday know the true story. Antarctica has always been a place that few humans have ever seen. Only scientists, support personnel, and the extremely wealthy and elite have the resources to travel there. But in recent years, everyday people have been using available technology to make some pretty shocking observations on the desolate continent. As anonymous, self-proclaimed Earth Watchman discovered an enormous cave-like opening off an island off the coast of Antarctica using Google Earth. The opening looks much too precise to be something created by nature alone. The investigator who spotted the opening claims to have measured the anomaly using Google Earth tools and that the entrance is over 150 feet wide. What's even stranger is that this so-called cave was only visible on Google Earth for 6 months. Then it mysteriously vanished. What covered it up? Was it natural causes, an avalanche, or was it digitally removed because the public stumbled upon something they were never meant to see? It has long been our understanding that Antarctica is the only continent on Earth that has never had a native human population. However, scientific study has discovered that millions of years ago, Antarctica was perhaps a semi-tropical climate. Fossil evidence has revealed that about 55 million years ago, Antarctica was covered in dense forest and even supported the growth of palm trees along its coast. But according to what is known of human history, it seems impossible that prehistoric humans ever inhabited Antarctica. But some topographical photos that NASA have made led some people to challenge this long-held belief. The photos taken in 2016 show the ruins of what appears to be an ancient city. Leading archaeologist Ashoka Tripathi of the Department of Archaeology at the University of Calcutta believes the images show clear evidence of an ancient human settlement beneath the ice sheet. Tripathi has been quoted saying, "These are clearly features of some sort of human-made structure, resembling some sort of pyramidal structure. The pattern clearly shows nothing we should expect from natural geomorphological formations found in nature. We clearly have here evidence of human engineering. The only problem is that these photographs were taken in Antarctica under 2 kilometers of ice. That is clearly the puzzling part. We do not have any explanation for this at the moment. Recently, images of pyramid-like structures found in Antarctica went viral. Some scientists say these are simply mountains and that a freeze-thaw cycle of erosion has given them their distinctive pyramidal shape. Others disagree. When comparing the structure of these possible pyramids to other mountains that have eroded from a freeze-thaw cycle, such as the Swiss Alps and Ellsworth, there are virtually no similarities. The angles of the Antarctic pyramids are strangely precise to have been formed by nature alone. There remains no scientific consensus on the true origins of these structures, but if they were in fact made by intelligent hands, they might be the oldest pyramids on our planet. So the question remains, who put them there? A possible former US Navy whistleblower claimed to have some insight. In January of 2015, UFO researcher 𝗩𝗓𝗦𝗬𝗧 received a letter from an alleged retired US Navy engineer, former first-class flight non-commissioned officer. The whistleblower, who refers to himself as Brian, claims that he served in the Navy with a squadron called Antarctic Development Squadron 6. He worked with this squadron since 1983 and then retired in March 1997. Being a flight engineer, he was able to fly for more than 4,000 hours and saw things that most people can't even imagine. Brian's home base was the 𝗪𝗪𝗧 station, which is a 3.5-hour flight from the South Pole station. The crew would often have flights back and forth between the 2 stations. On several flights to and from the 𝗪𝗪𝗧 South Pole base, the crew saw flying saucers that darted around the tops of the Antarctic Trans-Mountain Range, almost exactly at the same point every time they flew between this area. Brian also claims that during his service, his squadron was never allowed to fly over a certain area, which was 5 miles from the 𝗪𝗪𝗧 station. However, once due to a medical evacuation, his crew did fly over the forbidden area, and what they saw was a large hole in the ice, as if there was an entrance to a huge base. After this mission, the crew was debriefed by intelligence agents from Washington, D.C. and told explicitly not to talk about this area. On one other occasion, his crew once again approached the restricted area, but subsequently had some electrical faults on the aircraft and experienced some mysterious anomalies. They were told to leave the area immediately and report to their squadron commander. After this incident, the pilot commander of the squadron was sent away, exempted from the mission assignment, as well as the crew. Another even more bizarre incident whistleblower Brian revealed was that, at one point, a group of scientists and their equipment were doing research in an area not far from the main base. The group always stayed in communication with command, and after 2 weeks, Brian's crew flew out to the field to see if the scientists were in need of supplies and to check their general status. But strangely, the scientists had completely disappeared, and there was no sign of their presence. The radio was on, and Brian tried to call 𝗪𝗪𝗧 station to verify that it was working properly. The plane crew was then ordered to return to 𝗪𝗪𝗧 by their commander. A week later, a scientist contacted 𝗪𝗪𝗧 and requested the crew return to the camp again to pick them up. As soon as the team of scientists was loaded, everyone was silent. They didn't speak to the crew of the plane and seemed frightened. As soon as the plane landed in 𝗪𝗪𝗧, the scientists were put on another plane and sent to New Zealand. The crew that remained in Antarctica never heard of them again. They completely disappeared. Their equipment was brought back from the field and then quarantined and sent back to the United States. Brian claims that very often there would be discussions between the flight crews of different bases, and some crew members had heard from some scientists that in the restricted area were some EBEs, extraterrestrial biological entities, that work and interact with scientists. According to them, Antarctica is the site of a huge secret underground base where humans and what we call aliens work together. Could our understanding of ancient history be completely wrong? Is it possible that we're not alone, not only in the universe but even on our own planet? If the ice in Antarctica continues melting at its current rate, who knows what may be revealed in the years to come.
If you liked this video and you want to see more amazing content, go ahead and check out the next video on our channel.